This is the 10 o'clock news on Q2, Montana's news leader.
Good evening and thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Russ Riesinger. 18 years ago, America was shaken to its core and then rose above the ashes united. Today's ceremonies coast to coast paid tribute to the thousands who lost their lives that fateful September day that millions vowed to never forget. Across the country, Americans are marking the 18th anniversary of the September 11th terrorist attacks. It was the worst foreign attack on U.S. soil and left nearly 3,000 people dead. Wendy Gillette reports from New York.
Family members of those killed on 9/11 returned to the World Trade Center site.
Timothy Sean Haskell.
Reading their names and sharing memories of their loved ones, never forgotten.
I look forward to a moment when our souls can reconnect.
These women came to pay tribute to Tanyelle McDay, a computer technician who died when hijackers crashed a plane into the North Tower.
Yes, it's been a long time, but it's like day one all over again.
Others came to honor relatives they never had a chance to meet.
I've never met you before, but you'll always be in our minds, our hearts, and our everyday lives.
Here in Lower Manhattan, many paused at the new 9/11 Memorial Glade to remember the first responders and volunteers who became sick or died as a result of the recovery efforts.
All went above and beyond. They didn't just do their 8-hour day and leave. They too were unsung heroes.
At the Pentagon, where 184 people died, President Trump and First Lady Melania laid a wreath.
We offer you all that we have, our unwavering loyalty, our undying devotion.
Vice President Pence traveled to Shanksville, Pennsylvania, hailing the brave crew and passengers of Flight 93, who helped prevent even more tragedy by confronting the hijackers and bringing the plane down.
They were ordinary Americans, but their heroism would inspire the nation.
18 years later, the nation has stayed true to the pledge to never forget. Wendy Gillette, CBS News, New York.
Well, for the first time, all schools in New York were required to observe a moment of silence today, ensuring those who weren't even born on 9/11 never forget. Well, today in Billings, events of September 11th were remembered during an annual ceremony on the courthouse lawn. A crowd of about 150 braved the rain to hear a message of patriotism from Billings resident and retired Army Ranger Blake Furman, who served 4 tours in Afghanistan after the Twin Towers fell. Q2 Chief Photographer Paul Humphrey was there and brings us this emotional story.
Liberty and life are often precarious, and surrendering them for vague visions or illusions of safety often result in mountains of human suffering.
As we're gathered here right now on this Patriots Day, soldiers are getting ready. Our police, firefighters, EMTs, and other first responders are gearing up for the fights that they will face. It is our duty, in honor of the memory of those fallen soldiers, of those who fell on this day so many years ago, and of every patriot that has lived and died in the defense and protection of our great nation since its birth, to not see each other in that sense, to not look at the things that divide us like our political beliefs, to not look at race or religion, but to look past all of those things that divide us to the one thing that unites us, that we are Americans, and choose to be a patriot each and every day, to live for your fellow Americans, fight to give others life, liberty, and the chance to pursue that happiness that we all strive for. It is now up to us to follow those leaders and to choose each and every day to be a patriot in their memory.
Well, turning to weather now, Bob, it was a rainy, somber day here in Billings and even snowing on the Beartooth Pass and some parts of Wyoming, too.
It's hard to believe, yeah. Bighorns had some snow there as well. Let me show you what's happening. Here's the way the storm looks right now. You can see it still continues to spin its way right over Treasure County, but Billings and Yellowstone County still has got their fair share of the edge of the rainfall in it. But let's zoom in a little closer and take a look. We do have some snow falling in this hour, basically up in the Beartooths and also in the Bighorns, even a little snow over in the Pryor Mountains. But because of the snow in the Beartooths, we have a winter weather advisory advisory until tomorrow morning, and that's looking for 6 to 8 inches of snow there. And because of that, well, the Department of Transportation has closed Beartooth Pass at Vista Point. It's also closed on the other side of the line on the Wyoming side as well. So that's where we're looking at some scattered rain showers there. How much more rain are we going to get in Billings? Well, it's starting to wind down. It looks like we may see maybe another 0.12 of an inch of rain, but places like Glendive could see over another inch of rain moving into that area as the rest of tonight moves on. We'll have more in the forecast in a few more minutes. Russ?
All right, thank you, Bob. Well, Governor Steve Bullock was in a Billings second grade classroom today to see a demonstration of a program that will soon benefit more Montana students. More than 1,100 Montana teachers will be trained in the PAC's Good Behavior game, which is now expanding to 100 more public schools across Montana. The PAC's game helps build emotional resiliency and creates nurturing learning environments for kids to help combat youth suicide, substance abuse, and peer pressure. The expansion of the program was made possible through a $2.1 million federal grant that Bullock announced back in May. Bullock says he has no plan B when it comes to his presidential run. The governor told MTN during his stop in Billings that he doesn't know what lies in store for his political career if being president is not in the cards. And becoming president is proving to be increasingly challenging as Bullock continues to poll near the bottom in a list of some 20 Democrats still running for the nomination. Q2's Andrea Lutz spoke with Bullock today, who says he's banking on Iowa to flush out the competition.
A stop at a Billings elementary school just days before Montana Governor Steve Bullock heads back to Iowa.
It's a different scale, certainly, than running for governor.
He's trailing in the polls and the only governor left in the race. So, will he stick it out?
People go up and down in polling, and I just look at it as it's a marathon, not a sprint.
Bullock was not among the other Democrats to appear on a debate stage in Houston, and he has his own thoughts about how that played out.
It's never been before in our history that to be on a debate stage, you have to get a number of individual donors, right? And I think, candidly, that sends the wrong message.
And he believes the right message is boots on the ground in Iowa.
I've been actually connecting with those voters. First state that actually, will express a preference is Iowa. It's still, 4.5 months away. I've made probably a dozen trips to Iowa so far, and they take this seriously.
Bullock hopes his connection with early state voters will help narrow down the field with him in it. And if in the end that doesn't work out...
and then I don't know what I'll do if this doesn't work out. If it doesn't work out, at least hopefully that my voice will play a role in a way that we could make sure that President Trump is a one-term president.
In Billings, Andrea Lutz, MTN News.
Andrea also asked Bullock if there's a chance he would still run for the Senate in 2020 against Republican Steve Daines. He said he decided even before running for president that a run for the Senate will not happen and reiterated that he has no plans to change that decision. Well, some news that could affect your commute. Part of a busy street into and out of downtown Billings will be closed starting next week. South 27th Street will be closed between Montana Avenue and Minnesota Avenue starting Monday. Montana Rail Link is working on the railroad crossing. The work that starts on Monday is expected to be finished on Friday, September 27th. The City of Billings Public Works says detour signs will be in place to direct traffic to 28th and 29th Streets. Now, this work is not part of the 27th Street project that starts on September 23rd. No street closures will be needed for that work, which begins at State Avenue. Still to come on tonight's 10 o'clock news. Don't know what to do about all those pesticides in your home? Well, there's now a solution. Plus, we're going to have the latest on rape allegations against NFL star Antonio Brown. And in sports, the playoff series between your Mustangs and Idaho Falls will be decided tomorrow, one way or another. Scott will tell us how.
You're watching MTN News with Janelle Slade and Russ Riesinger. Storm Tracker weather with Bob McGuire. And sports with Scott Breen. This is the 10 o'clock news on Q2, Montana's news leader.